Hey everybody, this is a venture. This is a biggie for me. This is I'm at the site of John's Modern Cabins. Obviously they're not modern any longer. There's a neon sign right there. I'll get a closer shot of it, which says it. I just want to go over a few things. This right here is a very, very old stretch of Route 66. Nobody rides it, drives it anymore. It's pretty much private property. There's a sign over that says it is private property. Doesn't say no trespassing, but it says it is private property. You know, if you get hurt or injured or anything, that's on you. Someone had left for some reason two golf balls on that. So John's Modern Cabins, I'm going to do what I can on it, and then Route 66. I'm not going to be traveling any of this. I'm going to be exiting that way, going back up and going on more of a modernized Route 66. I'm not even going to risk going down there. In a previous helmet cam video, I went down a rabbit hole and a deer jumped out in front of me. It was kind of neat, but kind of scary. But if you want to learn more about John's Modern Cabins in the vicinity of Rolla, Missouri, Old Route 66, I encourage you to. This is one of many facets of Route 66 that brings me out here. Sometimes it's the paved road, me riding on my own for hours and just being in my thoughts. It's also the people I meet. It's the structures that have survived, that are still in operation as they were then. It's the structures that were refurbished. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now, but it's the structures that were once dilapidated that people get in there to refurbish and make them somewhat museums, like the gas stations I've been to. But let's walk the property so you can get a good idea. It's not the easiest thing to find. I would say it's off of exit 176, but it's not the easiest thing to find. Over here, it just gives you a notice stating that it is private property, stating this is private property and that it's hazardous area. If you decide to come into it, you know, you're on your own. It does say that John's Modern Cabins is located on private property. In addition, this former motor court was built in the 1930s. Like all structures, it could go on to say, like all structures, you know, weather and time dilapidates them. So, but you see this in a lot of artist drawings, you know, and a lot of the map drawings, a lot of the museums. This is always mentioned. Why? I don't know. I think there was a murder on this property too. There's a lot of, you know, these are mainly for my family and friends to watch what I'm experiencing as I'm going through. Not so much a documentary for people trying to learn about Route 66, other than family and friends following me along to see what my experiences are. But if you are interested in Route 66, there are better descriptive, detailed documentary videos on John's Modern Cabins on YouTube. Just punch in John's Modern Cabins and you'll see. Roman Rich does another good one. So this is the property going from what's left of it. I mean, there's a heap over here of something, but I'm going to keep my distance from the structures. I don't know how many there were at one time. It's quiet out here. I'll do some still photos too, get them on Facebook. So people used to stay in these things, motoring on down Route 66. This is almost about the footprint size of the room I stayed in last night. This is the old outhouse there. I don't know if it was a communal outhouse or if there was one per cabin. I would hate to imagine that this stuff would all be excavated someday, but maybe that needs to be done. This is the only one that actually has 4 walls standing. Some of the documentaries you'll see, there are more of these cabins that are standing. And whoever private property is, whoever owns it, they may just decide to tear it all down. Now here's the big draw, is this neon sign, which you really can't even, I don't know if you guys can read it anymore, but as the vegetation grew around it, it was a neon sign that read John's Modern Cabins. There's a little glass neon left on the right-hand side on the word modern, like the ERN has some left. And then way up top, there's an arrow pointing. So at one time, to have visibility on this road, that's how that would come into effect. So there it is on that side too. So you'll see that as you do research on Route 66. Here's something round. I don't know what this round structure would have been. But my wife Julie, when I mentioned that she just watched my daily one, my morning of, and I forgot to mention I went to Merrimack Caverns yesterday, which I can't believe I forgot that. I really can't, because that was a magnificent tour, very interesting. I think I'll get some photos on Facebook on that. Video didn't come out too well because it was dark in there. Very worth doing. They do give military discount. So if you're military going there, they said that's the only discount they do is military. And at the end, there's a presentation at the end that is just really, really cool. So I'd strongly recommend Merrimack Caverns, another historic stop as tourists would travel. Tourists and people going from Chicago to LA would stop off at. My wife mentioned a bridge, and I'm trying to think of a bridge I did, and I can't. So I'm gonna have to either look at photos or talk to my wife. But I did the National Museum of Transportation and Merrimack Caverns. There might have been an old bridge I went to, I don't remember. So, but anyways, this is it. This is John's Modern Cabins, and I'm really happy. Some people will watch this video and saying it's a dump. You know, what's the point? And I get that, I understand that, but for me, this was a must do. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. I got a few stops today. I'm going down to Lebanon, Missouri, where I spent the night at the Munger Moss. I'm gonna go visit Ramona there. And there's another museum I skipped on the way up. So I'm gonna do that. Also, I mentioned in a prior video that there's this place called Hooker's Cut. It's and actually Modern Marvels, the show Modern Marvels, does one on just Route 66 on the engineering and the infrastructure of the route for the time, to include bridges, tunnels, cuts in the mountains, railroad alignments. Very interesting. To see it today, you wouldn't think anything of it. So when you see the video, it looks like a mountain that's been cut through. Well, we do it all the time now. But at the time that they were doing it, it was cutting edge technology, and it was said to have been done. The necessity was to make a wide path without a steep upgrade or downgrade, and it was during World War II to get the military trucks to and from Fort Leonard Wood. So that's one thing I'm doing too, and then overnight in Springfield. So I got a lot to do. I'm gonna get on it, enjoy the videos. I hope you do. A lot of people say they like following along with me as I do it through the day. So we'll see you soon. Take care. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to get out there and ride. And life's an adventure. I'm living mine, live yours, and make your journey a good one.